come in when they get here.
Okay, that sounds great.
So would you like to welcome everyone, Beverly?
I sure would. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us to Sip and Sail with AmaWaterways. I'm Beverly Mclean. I'm Covington's social media director and travel blogger. You met Jean a little bit earlier, and we expect to have a couple other of our Covington vacation advisors joining us on the line tonight. I think your microphones, yes, your microphones are going to be muted during the program to prevent any background noise. If you have any questions during the presentation, please just type them into the chat box and we'll address them at the end. So tonight we are so pleased to have Kathy DiVincenzo. I am so sorry, Kathy DiVincenzo.
Don't worry.
She is the business development manager with AmaWaterways. Kathy is a cruise industry veteran who keeps our staff, our vacation advisors, up to date on Ama's fleet and itineraries, the promotional offers, and if you might have just heard one, and of course, the safety protocols. One of my favorite parts is that she always highlights AmaWaterways' culinary forward values by sharing a mouth-watering recipe. It's a regional recipe from the places that they sail and the cruises that you can taste it. So I think that's just really cool. Now it's time to grab your beverage and sip and sail. So let's sip and sail together. And Kathy, welcome. Thank you so much. And take it away.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you so much for inviting me to everyone's home. And the recipe of this week, for anyone that may have not gotten it, but may want it, you can get it from Beverly, is a Basque country chicken. So thank you for mentioning that, Beverly. And that particular recipe will go with our Basque country free pre or post promotion that is good for the entire month of March. It's on select sailings, and it includes that extra $100 off per person if someone makes a booking within the next 2 weeks. So we got a triple benefit of a discount, and we've got a free pre or post, and we've got a recipe. So AmaWaterways is a family-owned company. Our president and founder, Rudy Schreiner, ironically started another company called Viking and another company called Uniworld, and he tweaked a third company called Avalon. He's considered the father of modern-day river cruising. His beautiful wife started in travel in Dresden, Germany, and when the wall fell, she went to California, and she was a vice president of Viking, and that's where the love story started. And then Gary Murphy's dad, Jimmy Murphy, started a company called Brendan Vacations when he came here from Ireland. And he sold the company in 2002 to get the money to start AmaWaterways. Ama is a very hands-on, family-owned company. If you run into any of the three of them, they'll treat you like they've known you your whole life and your family. And that's the part of the way Ama is. Now, when Rudy and Christine and Jimmy Murphy started the company, they wanted to do something different with our ships. And we'll call it passion, purpose, and innovation. And Rudy's an architect and an engineer by trade. So what he did is he created ships with a shallow draft. That means we can sail in shallow water when our competitors can't. It was never really a big thing until 3 years ago. There was a 105-year drought in Europe. Do you know there was only one river cruise company who made all of their sailings, and that was AmaWaterways, and that's because of the shallow draft. But we have all kinds of bells and whistles on the ship that are different, that make us stand out from our competitors. On the top deck, we have all different levels of sun and shade. Then we have a running track. In front of that, a heated pool with a swim-up pool bar. Then the deck drops down safely about 4 feet, and you sit out in country club casual seating and you watch the scenery go by. But I'm going to go over a whole bunch of other things that are different that Ama has, and I'm going to keep pointing out it's included, so that when you sit down with the professionals here at Covington Travel, you'll be able to easily identify what you might be overpaying for with somebody that's charging you more and including things you don't want versus things you might be underpaying for that you're going to have to buy anyway, so that we can come up with a really great informed decision. Now, oceans take you through countries and rivers two countries and rivers take you through them. When you're on the rivers, it's more of a cultural immersion. So what we do is we sail at night. We'll pull into a port about 6 in the morning. Then we'll have our breakfast from 7 to 9. Then you'll go on your morning tour. Then you'll come back to the ship for lunch. The ship might even sail during lunch. Then you'll have your afternoon tour. But because we're parked in the heart of the downtown, it's easy on, easy off, and you can go right into town right after you're done with your afternoon tour. Me, I like to go back in, hit the shops, the restaurants, some bars and things, museums. So the sky's the limit because it's easy. The ship essentially just doubles your time. But a little fun fact is the ships were originally pulled by ropes and donkeys, and we paved those pathways, and those are now our bike paths. Now, this is something else that's very important. AmaWaterways is 100% debt-free company. Whenever we build a ship, we pay cash for it. Whenever you make a booking with AmaWaterways with our friends at Covington Travel, all you do is have to leave a $400 deposit for the cruise, and we don't even need payment in full until 90 days prior to departure because of our solvency. This year, we have 3 ships coming out, the AmaSiena, the AmaLucia, and the AmaDahlia. All 3 are 100% paid for. While we were in a COVID suspension, we redid the Ama Verde and the Amabella. They were 2 of our oldest twin balcony ships. They were completely gutted right down to the steel, so they are brand new. And one of our cruises that is the buy one, get one free is on the Ama Verde. So it's essentially a new ship. So besides being a solvent company, we're also stewards of our environment, and we believe in sustainable travel and minimizing our carbon footprint. Now, where do we go? We have 2 ships in Portugal. It's a very popular destination. We have 5 ships in France. We do Paris to Le Havre, round trip Paris, Bordeaux, Provence, and Burgundy and Provence. Our fleet's 4 smallest ships are in France. Do you know why they're in France? Well, the French rivers are more shallow and more narrow. So in order to get into the little nooks and crannies of ports like Paris, you have to have a ship that's small enough to turn around. Now, imagine yourself on this wonderful dinner with wine, and you're going to want to get off the ship in Paris and see the Champs-Élysées or the Eiffel Tower lit up. With us, it's a few-minute walk. With our competitors who put too big a ship on these rivers, they have to park an hour outside of town and bus you in and then bus you back. So with us, you think about it, right size ship on right size river gives you your optimum vacation. Then we start at the top of the Rhine in Amsterdam. We go down the Rhine to the Rhine-Main Canal. That will connect with the Danube. We will sail on the Danube as far south as Giurgiu, which is just outside of Istanbul. We do Vietnam and Cambodia. Egypt, we will start sailing there in September of 2021. So my friends at Covington Travel can book you for Egypt now. The ship is complete. We've taken possession of it, so you don't have to worry about any construction delays. Then our very most popular destination is South Africa. And if somebody's interested, South Africa sells out like crazy. So that's something that you'd have to grab it while we've got it, because chances are we won't have it if you call back. Now, this is what the ship looks like. So we like to equate ourselves with the 4 seasons. So it's very sleek with marble and granite and hardwoods and just the lap of luxury, but very casual. This is the lounge area of the ship, and this is where the action happens. Do you know what the most popular thing is here in the lounge? It's a barista machine, which fresh ground coffee, 24/7, tea, hot chocolate. Every night there's a show here in the lounge that's indigenous to the destination. After the show, we have a musician who plays the night away. But I do these presentations all over the country, and one question I get asked wherever I go. The question is, do you have food anywhere but your restaurant? Well, every other river cruise is going to tell you no. I'm going to tell you in our other restaurant, and we always have food here in the lounge, which no one else does. Now, in the morning, we'll start off with a nice continental breakfast. Then we are switching to pizza and burgers, salads, and a sandwich of the day here in the lounge. And then we're going to have tapas of the day at the bar. We're going to have hors d'oeuvres during happy hour. Later on in the evening, we're going to have a buffet. So we're always going to have a second choice. A lot of people like to do a grab and go lunch, so that will be available as well. Now, this is the bar area of the ship, and we like to say we're inclusive, but not all inclusive. So what does that mean? It means Christine wants to be fair to the folks not drinking. So what she wants to do is have us be inclusive, but not all inclusive, to include champagne at breakfast, beer and wine at lunch and dinner, and the hour before dinner is a full open bar menued happy hour. Now, when you're talking to the professionals at Covington Travel, they're going to price our all-inclusive competitors. They're going to be about $1,000 more a person than we are. So what you can think about is champagne, beer and wine, fine wine. We're not charging extra for the fine wine because that's all we have. Then our drinks are $5 a piece. Beer is about $3.80. If you had 5 drinks a day every day for a week, that's $175. So when you look at that all inclusive at $1,000 more, you look at what you might be getting overcharged for. Then you break down what somebody else is a lot less expensive. There's one competitor that charges $200 extra if you want good wine. Who doesn't want good wine? We have one competitor that gives everybody a drink coupon per day. So you have to walk around with your coupon book. With us, it's unlimited and the best. So these are little things that are going to add up to be big things. I mentioned the Sip and Sail cocktail hour that will happen every single day. The Welcome Aboard Captain's Party will happen on the first day. That's your traditional Captain's Party. The rest of the week, there will be a menu. You'll choose from the menu. And as a result, I know now that I like lemon drop martinis, but there'll be plenty of choices. Now, I mentioned the Onboard Entertainment. The girl with the violins, part of a group called La Strada. They play on all of our ships. They jump from ship to ship so that everybody gets to listen to this string quartet that is fabulous. There's dancers, singers. So you'll get a variety of entertainment every single night. And this is our library. This is our quiet area where you sit and just relax by the fireplaces if you choose to. I like to duck in and do my crossword puzzles. Now, this is our average cabin on our ships. Our long ships and everybody else's long ships are the same size. We just put a lot less people in a lot bigger cabins, hence the highest rated luxury brand. Now, the average cabin on our ships is the one you're looking at. It's 210 to 235 square feet, has a real balcony and a French balcony in the sunroom. Why is it important that I'm telling you we have a real balcony? Well, we have some competitors that have windows that go down and they call it a balcony. It's not a balcony, it's a window that goes down. This is a real balcony with 2 chairs and a table, and you sit and you watch the scenery go by. This is our French balcony cabin, which is 170 square feet, and that has a sliding glass door that you look out, but it doesn't step out. Every one of these cabins is going to have a refrigerator stocked with unlimited water, flat screen in every room. Why is it important that I'm telling you there will be unlimited water in your cabin? Well, we do have competitors that charge up to $8 a bottle for water. Now, some of our ships will have connecting cabins and they will have triples and quads. So now you're looking at that water bottle in the cabin saying, she just told us they're green and they've got plastic water bottles. Well, when we started sailing last July, and we were the only American river cruise company that sailed last year in Europe, we switched the bottles out to a biodegradable water bottle, like a child's juice box. We just didn't get a film crew out to Europe to take new pictures. But that will be stocked in your fridge and on your tours. Now, this is the quad cabin, and the quad cabin is a suite. There are only 4 suites on a ship. So if somebody's interested, please reach out to Covington Travel because they go quickly. So grab them while we have them. There's 350 square feet in the room. It's a sofa that'll pull out into a bed. Behind the slotted wall, there's bedding for 2. There's the real balcony and the French balcony. But with the suites, you get butler service. So you will get unlimited fruits in the room. You'll get flowers, champagne, and butler service. And we'll get we have flat screens in every single cabin. We went up to 5G internet. So every cabin will get first run movies, music, TV, and a keyboard to go online. So you can keep up with social media and post your pictures. And we're going to give you unlimited postcards, and we're going to even stamp them for you. So keep in touch with everyone to tell them where you are. Now, every one of the ships has a beauty salon and a spa. Covington Travel belongs to an organization called Virtuoso. With Virtuoso, Covington Travel has exclusive dates with us where you can get a $150 onboard credit. You can use them in the beauty salon and the spa, and you can reach out to the team at Covington and they'll be able to identify the select sailings and dates that you get the extra onboard credit. Now, we have a gym on every ship, and you can do as much as you want or as little as you want. I like to stay physically fit because I like to eat all of the fabulous food. And as Beverly had mentioned, we have culinary taste delights, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So working out's a good thing so you can keep eating. But we have a heated pool on all of the ships except for the 4 smaller ships in France. They have whirlpools and putting greens. Everyone uses the pool. They love it. It has plexiglass on 3 sides. It's much larger in person than it is in the picture. We keep the pool at 90 degrees. So I was on 2 years ago for Thanksgiving, and we had people in the pool at 2 o'clock in the morning. I did find out they were from Erie, Pennsylvania, which is by Buffalo, New York. So we're going to chalk that up to their blood being a little thicker. But nonetheless, people love the pool. They use it all year round. And they love our exercise classes. Do you know we start every day at 7 a.m. with champagne yoga? The classes go throughout the day in half an hour intervals. We do up to 8 a day. We have a variety of choices. You'll know what the classes are and where they are by your AmaCruiser app. Our wellness instructor is also going to do talks on healthy eating and classes, but all of this is included for free. Now, if you haven't had dinner, I apologize. This is an example of our cuisine. It's called Shendo Rotisser. It's the French equivalent of a Michelin chef. We believe in fine dining. Everything is brought on fresh every single day. About 4 o'clock in the morning, you're going to smell smells of fresh pastries wafting down the hall. The hardest thing for me to do on board the ship is back away from the giant pastry display in the dining room. If anyone has any dietary restrictions, all you do is let the professionals at Covington Travel know. They'll note the record, and then when you come on board, you'll meet with the chef, and then every day you'll get your very own customized menu choices from the maitre d'. So you don't have to worry about dietary restrictions with the exception of kosher. And we do apologize to our Jewish friends. The only thing we can't do is kosher because the kitchen is too small for 2 fridges, 2 stoves, and 2 dishwashers. Now, we have menu service for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All of our competitors only do a buffet for breakfast and lunch. If you're the highest rated 5-star product, you need to have menu service for all 3 meals. Now, there's 2 little wine nooks on the outside of the main dining room. They're great for private parties, birthdays, anniversaries, or if you just have loud friends like I do. But it's the same menu as the dining room, and it'll be first come, first serve, and there's no charge. Now, this is our chef's table. The chef's table is an alternate dining, multi-course, wine-paired dinner. The chef does the whole prep behind glass. It's very pristine, and everybody is guaranteed at least 1 seating here in the chef's table. Now, if you can get additional reservations, no problem at all. We'll just invite you right back in at no charge. One of our all-inclusive competitors is charging $175 a person for this, and others charging $225. So again, these things are starting to add up what other people are going to charge that we include. Now, this is a biggie as well. We do a tour in the morning and a tour in the afternoon. And with this, they're going to come in fast walkers, medium walkers, gentle walkers, late risers. And you'll get choices like hiking and biking tours. And we're going to take you to places for special edition tours. I've gone truffle hunting. I made pretzels. I went to a castle where the owner was a vintner and a chocolatier. So it's a wonder I ever left there. But this is included in the morning and the afternoon. Every one of my competitors charges for the afternoon tour. It's at least $100 a day. If you did that tour every day for a week, that's $700 where we included. So again, you're starting to see things add up. This is an example of our bike tours. We're going to give you the helmets. The crew is in the front and the back. Sometimes people overestimate their ability, so we have the person in the back with a walkie-talkie. Now, before we go into a whole bunch of our other destinations, March 15th, Monday, we are launching a 7-river, 14-country, 46-night, 4-ship epic journey through Europe. This is going to be off the charts. If anybody would want a tour on our 7 rivers, please reach out. This is going to go quickly. We have so much advance people interested in this, but it's going to be something state of the art that's never been done in the cruise industry. Something that we have that's on sale and a really great thing to do is Christmas markets. They usually go on an Advent calendar in and around our Thanksgiving to Christmas Eve. You walk around these great spots in Europe drinking this hot wine called Glühwein. I go to all the little shops and get my grandchildren ornaments from all over Europe. My husband's a foodie, so he goes from shop to shop eating. Christmas markets are up to $1,000 off a person. There's a free upgrade in the balcony cabin and a $50 per cabin onboard credit. And that's combinable with that extra $100 that I offered at the beginning if you make a booking within 2 weeks at Covington Travel. Now we have our ship in Vietnam. It's called the Amadara. Its ship is beautiful with hardwood floors and crown molding and just lap of luxury in an exotic destination. We start off in Hanoi, go over to Ha Long Bay, then down to Siem Reap, where you can see the UNESCO site of Angkor Wat. Then you'll go to the ship for 7 nights back and forth between Vietnam and Cambodia and end in Saigon, or you can do the reverse. Then we have our tulip time, which is usually the last week of March to the first week of May. You never know when the tulips are going to bloom. We're going to take you to Keukenhof Gardens. You'll see tulips in the tents, tulips in the field. We're going to take you to Kinderdijk for the windmills. We're going to take you to Antwerp and Ghent and just so many wonderful places. This will be round trip Amsterdam. Now, the Rhine is one of our most popular destinations. The wow factor on the Rhine is the Rhine Gorge, where you're going to sail down the Rhine Gorge and see over 40 different castles. And you're going to sit on the top deck while the cruise manager narrates. And there's this little town called Rudesheim, whether you're going north or south. And Rudesheim is famous for its coffee. And it's coffee, chocolate, brandy, and whipped cream. And we set it on fire. So we bring out trays of silver trays filled with Rudesheim coffee. So people will sit on the deck and drink the coffee as they're watching the scenery. We take you to Cologne, and the Cologne Cathedral took over 600 years to build. It houses the remains of the 3 wise men. My favorite thing to do in Cologne is Kolsch beer and potato pancakes. You can only have Kolsch beer in Cologne. You're going to see, like I said, the Rhine Gorge. You'll see Réquillart, France, where it's the inspiration for Disney's Beauty and the Beast. You're looking at Strasbourg, France, which is one of my favorite cities. You're also going to go to Heidelberg, and the Heidelberg Castle is remarkably intact as well in the city of Heidelberg. Then we offer the Danube, and the Danube, we have Budapest to Wilshofen, Germany, or Budapest to Nuremberg. Both itineraries mirror each other, where they both do Buda and Pest, because there's 2 sides of the river. One is the Buda and one is the Pest side. So it's a dichotomy of culture. And we've even got fort that dates back to the 10th century, communist gulag, many sites from World War II. There are many historic sites. The Budapest Castle has labyrinths underneath. Then we'll go to Vienna, which the main street in Vienna will have St. Stephen's Church. And that's a landmark that was damaged in World War II and has been rebuilt. The main street outside is all the shops that are similar to the shops on the Champs-Élysées. And Vienna's famous for its soccer tour and so many other things. Then they'll both go to Salzburg for the Sound of Music. For those Sound of Music lovers, that's a great tour. You'll also go to Chechny Krumlov on both tours if you choose that over the Sound of Music tour. Where the itineraries differ is the one that goes to Wilshofen. We have Oktoberfest all year round on that itinerary. We have our own Oktoberfest tent, whether you go in March all the way to New Year's Eve. We roll out the kegs, bring out the pretzels, the dancers, and we have a full out party. On the other itinerary, we're going to take you to Nuremberg for a reenactment of the Nuremberg trials, take you to Regensburg, which is the only medieval city not bombed in World War II. So these are great conversations to have with the folks at Covington. Now, we also do the Lower Danube, which is our longest itinerary over 7 nights, which goes over 800 miles. You'll go through the Iron Gates, the Kissing Rocks. The Romans conquered this. So there's all kinds of ancient Roman ruins, and there's some exotic destinations in Bucharest. And you can do a post tour at Dracula's Castle, or you can go to Istanbul. So there's so many choices here as well, and more for your exotic lover. Now we have a few itineraries in France. Now the Paris and Normandy and the one-way Paris to Le Havre, keep in mind that our ships are both in France and Paris. Our competitors are not. On both itineraries, they are going to mirror each other in Paris, and they're both going to go to the Normandy landing beaches for the patriotic people like myself. They're both going to go to Les Angelis, where you're looking at, that's a castle owned by King Richard the Lionheart. They're going to both go to Giverny, where Monet lived and painted most of his paintings, and that's one of my motherships. One of the big differences is one goes one way and the other goes round trip. So what you have to look out at is if you want to do round trip Paris or Paris to Le Havre or Le Havre to Paris. If you were to do the other itinerary, which is Impressions of the Seine, you have the option to do Brittany. And Brittany, you would stay in St. Malo and you would visit the historic title city of Mount Saint Michel. Now, if you're doing Paris and Normandy in the month of March, if you make your booking in the month of March, we are offering select dates that do 2 nights in Paris for free, and you will stay on the Champs-Élysées. Or if you do Impressions of the Seine, it would be 3 nights in St. Malo and Mount Saint Michel, and an option and 1 night in Paris. So that is free just for this month. So think about that. I went over all those Danube itineraries in the month of March. We have countless Danube itineraries that do offer a free pre or post in Prague. And Prague and these itineraries, this is a $1,500 person value. We still have 2 more that have that free option for the month of March. Now here they are. And these happen to be my favorite itineraries. One is Colors of Provence, and the other is Essence of Burgundy and Provence. Now, Colors of Provence is on the Ama Christina. That does not have any free pre or post this month. The Essence of Burgundy and Provence does. And that free pre or post will be 3 nights in Barcelona. Now, where these itineraries mirror each other will be Arles, where that area again was conquered by the Romans. There is a Roman Colosseum. There's a Roman amphitheater. They still use that Roman Colosseum that was made like in 004. They use it for musical concerts and things. Both of the itineraries will go to Avignon, where there's that beautiful half bridge. The story here is if you go dance on the bridge, your love will last forever. But they moved the papacy here for 100 years. You'll get to see where the Pope lived. You'll get to see the whole church around where the papacy was. That city has all different artists out making oil paintings and things. It's all the cobblestone streets. Both itineraries were the inspiration for many of Van Gogh's paintings, and it's home to the Beaujolais and the Côte de Rhône wines. So where this itinerary will differ is the Essence of Burgundy and Provence will be on the Rhône and the Saône River. Colors of Provence will only be on the Rhône. Now, this area of France has a lot of Roman influence, and it has, of course, the French influence. So when you're on the Rhône, Roman and French, when you get to the Rhône and the Saône, you throw in a little bit of Gaelic influence. So on the Essence of Burgundy and Provence, we're going to have that 3 nights coupled with all of your tours, medieval towns, abbeys, a lot of wineries, So both itineraries are fabulous. It just depends. One will go Arles to Lyon. Both itineraries will do Lyon. That's like a mini Paris. And then the other the Essence of Burgundy and Provence will go a little bit further north, and you'll end in Chalon-sur-Saône. Now, Portugal is our second most popular destination. This sells out like wildfire. You'll see places like the Matus Castle. You'll go to all these different castles, and the city of Porto will be your beginning or end. There's all different kinds of artisan tiles that are scattered throughout the city, but the wow factor is meandering down the river and seeing the terraced hills with the grapes on the vine. If anybody is interested in this, this is something that sells out quickly. Now, Africa is another great destination. This is our most popular destination. And again, we do this in a very unique way. All itineraries start in Cape Town at the Cape Grace Hotel with the water view. And you'll do all your tours. You can walk in the steps of Mandela and Robben Island. You can go up in a cable car to Table Mountain. Then you go to the ship for 4 nights. You'll do game drives off the ship in the morning and the afternoon. Then you'll go to Victoria Falls, where you'll stay for 2 nights. You'll stay at the Victoria Falls Hotel. We'll take you to the falls, which are exquisite. Option 1, you go home. Option 2, you'll go on Rovos Rail, which is an antique train from 1900. There'll be leaded glass and wood and just really romantic, and you'll watch the scenery go by. Then the other options add in Johannesburg for 2 nights. And with that, we'll stay at a 5-star resort called Fairlawn. All your tours in Johannesburg. Stars of South Africa includes 3 nights in Kruger Park, where you will stay at a 5-star property called Tin Swallow, and you will do 3-night mini safari here. The other itinerary does 7 nights in a luxury tent. So this is a mix and match. Ship has 14 cabins, holds 28 people, just gorgeous. Now we do wine cruises. On wine cruises, we bring hosts over from the US. They do 3 presentations on board. In all these presentations, you're going to taste 4 different wines, 2 Old World wine, 2 New World wine, fabulous. And we do have 2 Virginia vintners who are wine hosts. One is the Williamsburg Winery, and the other is the King Family Winery. So if somebody would be interested in going on either one of those, their vintners will be presenting. Now, I mentioned our Ama Magna earlier. The Ama Magna is a unique ship. It's one of a kind. All the other ships in the world are 38 feet wide. The Ama Magna is 72 feet wide. The average cabin is 355 square feet, has 4 restaurants, 5 bars, giant pool with a whirlpool, elevator goes to the top deck, and she is spectacular. I hope you liked our beautiful ship. And she only sails on the Danube. And if anybody is on as a golfer, we do have golf packages that are optional. This is the average cabin on the ship. The grand suite is 424 square feet. TV pops out of the credenza. Owner suite is 710 square feet with 2 bathrooms and a wet bar. Now this is the option, optional movie theater, and again, it's included. I apologize, my computer just froze. The Amadara is our ship in Egypt. It will be sailing in September. The itineraries start with 3 nights at the Four Seasons in Cairo. We're going to visit the Sphinx, the pyramid, 7 nights on the ship. We're going to go round trip Luxor, and you'll visit the Valley of the Kings and Queens, the Temple of Horus, Nubian villages, Felucca rides, Karnak Temple, Temple of Hathor. Now, I mentioned we sailed last year, and we will start sailing again May 12th for Europeans. We did so because we strictly adhered to the European guidelines, and we will do so this year. We did not have one COVID experience on board. We're going to use face masks. We have a designated compliance officer. We've upgraded to hospital grade cleaning, and we have also required people to sign 2 forms that they're healthy. We constantly check the crew. We have no touch temperature checks. We've reduced our tours down to 6 people. We've social distanced. We sanitize luggage before bringing it on board. But the one thing that I think is really important is every cabin has its own fresh air, heating and air conditioning constantly brings in fresh air, and that is in the public areas as well. Our guests are people that want the lap of luxury and a 5-star floating hotel with all their tours included, and fine wine and fine dining. And if someone's a single, we do not charge double. We charge 1.25. And again, the singles get to sit with the captain on the first night. So I mentioned a few times our complimentary land promotion through the month of March. It's Basque Country on the Taste of Bordeaux. It's 3 nights St. Malo in Paris on Impressions of the Seine, 2 nights in Paris on Paris and Normandy, 3 nights in Barcelona on Essence of Burgundy and Provence, and 3 nights in Prague. That's combinable with the $100 off that I offered you on the pre and post. I mentioned the highest rated luxury brand a few times. There's a book called The Berlitz Guide, where the authors did an independent study of all of the river cruises in Europe. We have 10 of the top 15 ships. Please, if you're thinking about doing a river cruise, get a hold of the Berlitz Guide. They sell them at Barnes & Noble, and they're very informative. So from our family to yours, we would like to welcome you on board. And I'm going to look at some of the questions that are in the question box so that we can answer some of the questions.